Is water wet? Yes. Mm, no. Yeah. N- ma- maybe? All right, so our objective today is to be able to calculate molarity and understand solution concentration. So, calculations of solution concentration, grams per liter. So one of the first ones is how much stuff you put in how much stuff. So grams per liter, mass of the solute in grams divided by the volume of the solution. This isn't just how much liquid you start with, but how much total solution you end up with. There's ways in the lab to very specifically kind of do this. It's called volumetric glassware. Grams per liter is the ratio of mass units of solute to the volume or liters of solution. So there's another one which is much more useful for calculations of reactions, but it's the molarity. Molarity is the moles of solute divided by the liters of solution. So molarity is that ratio of moles over liters. It's liters of solution, so it's one of the things to remember. So there's also mass percent, or percent, right? Mass of solute is the ratio of the mass units of solute to mass units of solution expressed as a percent. So percent is per 100. There is another that is parts per million, which is per million instead of per 100, like percent. It's per million. So ppm, it's the ratio of the mass units of solute to the mass units of solution multiplied by a million. So this is for expressing very small concentration. We also use parts per billion, parts per trillion, all of those things when we're talking about very specific contamination ratios, usually with things like water, wastewater, stuff like that. So 1 milliliter of water is equal to a gram of water, generally speaking, when it's liquid at room temperature. 1,000 milliliters of water is equal to a liter, which is equal to 1,000 grams. These are conversions that you need to know because they're useful and they're helpful. And it's just really a pain to have to look these up because the assumption is that you know them. So I would like you to figure this out. If you combine 2 moles of sodium chloride into 5 liters of water, what's the concentration in molarity? So you'll remember that molarity is moles per liter. So take the moles, 2 moles, divide it by 5 liters of water, and that is the concentration. So what's the concentration in grams per liter of 15 grams of sodium chloride dissolved into 1 liter of solution? So again, take the grams and divide it by the liters. That's 15 divided by 1, so 15 grams per liter. What's the molarity of this solution? So now you have grams per liter. What you need to do now is convert from grams of sodium chloride into moles of sodium chloride and divide that by the 1 liter. How many grams of sodium chloride are needed to make 1 liter of a 1 molar sodium chloride solution? So that's 1 mole per liter is what we're trying to get to. Multiply that times liters. What we need is 1 mole of sodium chloride, and the mass you get from the periodic table for sodium chloride, so the mass of sodium plus the mass of chlorine, should give you something in units of grams per mole. And we need to figure out grams, so multiply that times the 1 mole that you get, and that should give you your solution.